Welcome back, Dolphins. Hit that like and subscribe. We're going to be talking about the first week of OTAs, and there's going to be a surprising individual that is actually standing out. I know it's just, not pads or anything like that, but I'm hearing a lot of good things about a certain rookie in this, OTA period, and it's not going to be who you think it is. First off, we're going to acknowledge that Bradley Chubb looks incredible in this offseason. He is really taking it, another step, and kind of showcases, a lot of people are trying to, because of Tyreek Hill and, all the Jalen Ramsey stuff, basically make it seem like this whole team is just, a whole circus and everything like that. And what I think Bradley Chubb is really showing in OTAs and coming into this year, and him taking a pay cut, and, Teron Armstead coming out with the team, is that it's just two players, really, that are causing issues. Most of the other players are completely fine. It's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey that, aren't seeing eye to eye with the coaching staff. And basically, when you really consider it, everybody else seems to be buying in with the head coach and everything. Usually you kind of get the feel, like with Philbin or with Adam Gase, or I would say those would be the two main ones, where you started getting a feel like these players, they really aren't into this coaching staff at all. And you could feel it, coming into OTAs and all that stuff. You could definitely feel that the players the coach sucks. Philbin, we definitely saw that. Gase, crazy eyes and all that, we definitely saw that. But coming into this OTA period, there's something different, man. It's not like what we're used to, where it's that fourth-year coach where we're on the hot seat and all that. It seems like the players are buying in still to this coaching staff. And what I want to really hopefully open eyes to is that, with Bradley Chubb, veteran, could have easily been like Jalen Ramsey and wanted to get a whole paycheck, get cut, all that stuff. He took a pay cut, and he's come back, and the way that he looks, he's stacked. He's playing aggressive. He looks like, basically, when he was in his prime with the Broncos, he looks like that. Like, he looks ridiculous right now, and I'm hearing such good things about Bradley Chubb, and it just showcases that there are plenty of people that are buying into this Miami Dolphins team. It's just a certain two that really aren't vibing, and most likely we're going to get rid of one, maybe two of those two in the next coming weeks. But Bradley Chubb has really been a standout in this OTAs, and it's going to sound crazy, but Jason Marshall Jr. from Florida, the guy we drafted, I think the 5th round, I'm hearing a lot of good things about him. And when you look at Jason Marshall Jr., and something that we have to discuss when it comes to him is that there's a lot of potential. That's the reason why we drafted him. The intangibles, like size, length, all of that stuff, were there. It's just, it seemed like we didn't get enough effort all the time. And what it's starting to look like is, when we consider a player, sometimes we just consider the player, and of course it's a very important thing, but one of the bigger things that we also need to consider when it comes to a player, and we've seen this multiple times in the NFL and the collegiate level, is the coaches. Sometimes you don't buy into the coaches. It's really hard to give and learn and soak everything up the way that you would a good coach when you're playing for a bad one. And Florida, let's be real, has not been a good team for, a couple years now. And that could quite have possibly been something that was affecting Jason Marshall Jr. when it came to his collegiate play. Still looked good, good enough to get drafted, but the coaching staff for Florida just wasn't great. And right now, what I'm hearing, obviously, like I said, take a step back. It's OTAs. They don't have pads on. Totally get it. But what I'm hearing is the opposite of really what a lot of people were saying were his downfalls. The opposite in OTAs, where pretty much the opposite of like Cam Smith, where he's soaking everything in. He's really diligent. He's working his butt off. He's like excelling at a lot of the different parts of the practice that we have, and really looking like a pretty decent draft pick. Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel, typically Chris Grier, they kind of know cornerbacks. It's like Mike McDaniel knows running backs. Chris Grier kind of knows late-round cornerbacks. And what it's looking like right now, when you consider the size of Jason Marshall and his body type, he's fluid. He's got good size. I think he's like 6'2" or somewhere around that range. He's like two something. He's got good size and good intangibles. It's just about putting all the pieces together. I think he might have been a 5-star recruit, if I'm not mistaken, as well. 5-star recruit, I'm pretty sure. He's got all the intangibles. It's just about maximizing those certain things. And we're hearing a lot in the interviews where defensive backs coach is raving over Jason Marshall. Cater Kohu is saying that he looks like a baller. A lot of good things coming out of this OTAs right now. And I think there's going to be some underlying surprises. And I think this is going to be, obviously we have to see, what he's going to do. This is just OTAs. We have to continue the progression of this player. But all I'm hearing right now is like the kind of raving of OTAs is basically Bradley Chubb and Jason Marshall Jr. Obviously the standouts, Kenneth Grant, Jonah, even Jonah's kind of struggling sometimes, but he's going against, Kenneth Grant and, Sealer. So it's warranted he's going to struggle against those guys. Sealer is probably one of the top, defensive ends in football. And, the culture is seeming to be all right. And another, player that I think, Jason Marshall is probably going to take this place of this player because Cam Smith is not becoming what I thought he would, to basically pulled his hamstring. Jalen Waddle cooking him. And I think, again, standout in this offseason is Jalen Waddle as well. Jalen Waddle is going to be very successful. I'm going to reiterate this for the 50th time. Jalen Waddle, he's a better route runner than Tyreek Hill. And I'm telling you right now, he definitely, people forget his rookie year, how clutch he was, how, great he was at catching the ball. And it was like a flip-flop, obviously, when Tyreek Hill came in, because you're not the guy anymore. You're Robin, basically. And he thought he was going to be Batman. He thought he was going to be the dude with Tua. And it completely switched up, and Tyreek Hill took a toll on him. So the main standing right now with the OTAs is Jason Marshall is a surprising, really looking like somebody that could possibly take the field this year. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Waddle is, I'm telling you, he's going to be, and people are going to keep naysaying me. They're going to say this, that, and the other thing. He was injured. Tyreek Hill's been injured too. It's like they're both injured. Jalen Waddle is a better route runner, and right now he's cooking everybody that he goes against. Even look back to the Jets game. If you look back against the Jets, Tyreek Hill struggles against Sauce Gardner. Struggles. Like Sauce Gardner shuts Tyreek Hill every time. Shuts him down. Jalen Waddle cooks Sauce Gardner every single time he plays him. You can go back every single time we've played the Jets. Sauce Gardner on Jalen Waddle. He cooks him every time. Jalen Waddle's going to take over the number one role. And he's starting to show it in this offseason. He's becoming confident. I'm guaranteeing that the coaching staff has come up to him and said, you're going to take the brunt of the target share. Because, again, we're moving into more of an 11 personnel. We're probably going to have 1 or 2 tight ends on the field. And it's going to be a lot of blocking, running, play action, West Coast style of offense, and just heavy physicality up front, not needing 3 or 4 wide receivers. You just need 1 or 2 most of the time. And then, mostly tight ends and probably using Devon Achane and a 2 running back set. It's going to be like that this season. And Jalen Waddle is going to take over that number 1 role. And I'm pretty sure, I don't want to speculate on it, but I've seen Tua with Jalen and I've seen Tua with Tyreek. Tua trusts Waddle more than he trusts Tyreek. Tyreek is a loose cannon. Tua trusts Waddle is going to be in the right places. That's why you continually see in late game things, typically Tua is going for Waddle. He's trying to find Waddle somewhere because he trusts Waddle. So the 3 standouts from OTAs, definitely Jalen Waddle, Bradley Chubb, and Jason Marshall Jr. might be a sleeper coming into this season. He might take the field. What I'm hearing is that he looks really good. He looks coachable, which is a key here. Cam Smith ain't coachable. He looks coachable. He looks like he's taking everything in and really wants to excel in the NFL, which is really kind of all he needed because he didn't seem to give a crap sometimes when it came to, playing at Florida. But that also kind of sometimes has to do with the coach. The coach kind of sucked. The team kind of sucked. The team wasn't great these past couple years. So, again, keep a lookout for Jason Marshall Jr. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. That's the first week of OTAs. Love you all. Fins up, baby. Peace.